ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Secretary General of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Deron Donaldson, back from the Pan American Sports Organization's General Assembly. He spoke a bit about what was discussed.
It basically showed us different ways that we can access, coaching grants, athlete development grants, and ways to help federations become more, operate more corporately, more just giving us information to share back with the federations, which we plan to have meetings with the federation on how they can develop better and better serve their athletes. They also discussed having a Pan-American Junior Games, which is something that's going to be new. So something else for our athletes to benefit from in competing and furthering their international. It'll be from the ages span probably from 13 to 17. So we look forward to that coming on schedule soon. They also discussed the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and, preparation for that. We had a vice president, Cora Hepburn, attend, and she, went through the workshop as the president early in the year named her chef. So she'll be the first female chef for the Olympic game. So another, history-making mark for us here in the Bahamas.
Another topic of discussion at the PASO Assembly was the Bahamas pulling out of hosting next year's IAAF World Relays. And what makes matters even worse now is the fact that earlier today it was confirmed that Jamaica has also failed in its attempt to host the event, as the government was not able to provide a written financial backing to the IAAF.
Just saying that it's sad that the Bahamas won't be hosting it, and it was such a brand and a staple here in the Bahamas, and it's more of a Caribbean event, and so it's hard for them to carry it somewhere. So it's really, they branded it as our game, so that was a huge discussion among delegates.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo capping off another successful season with a stellar performance of the IAAF Continental Cup in Ostrava over the weekend. Not only did she help the Americas win the 4x1 in 42.11, she also held off a star-studded field in the 200 meters, which included Europe's Daphne Skiffers and Africa's Marie-José Tallou. Shawnee coasting to the win in the half-lapper in 22.16.
I just give all thanks and praise for allowing me to come in here and finish up the season healthy and get some more points for the team, and also finish my season undefeated. So I'm very happy with how everything went.
Also coming out on top over the weekend in Ostrava was Donald Thomas. He claimed the men's high jump, clearing 7.5 1/4 as the Americas dethroned Europe, winning by 29 points.
I just was out there having fun. Just thank God for the victory and thanking him to be able to come out there and represent Bahamas and the Americas. We could just let go, let the tension go, and just try to have fun. Enjoy your teammates and have a good time in the hotel. Come out here and just relax. The crowd is amazing. I love coming to Czech Republic. I come here at least 3 times a year.
The World Rowing Championships going on in Bulgaria. Jason Williams, the lone Bahamian there, competing in the men's single sculls. He got off to a slow start, finishing 4th in his opening round heat in 7 minutes, 57.39 seconds. Now, this is something Williams has been training for quite some time.
I've been training for a year now and training really hard. And I'm really excited to show the Bahamian public and I guess the rest of the world that Bahamians can dominate in the sport. There are about 62 countries. The competition is nothing short of fierce. In my heat, the German heat broke the world record. For the next race, the repechage, and really excited to throw down the hammer, as it were, and take no prisoners and really do much better, because I would have already understand how the boat is and what adjustments were needed.
Our men's national soccer team losing their first match of the CONCACAF Nations League 4-0 to Belize over the weekend. They will now have to regroup and get ready to face Antigua and Barbuda December 10th right here at home. Both teams are 0-1 as Antigua lost to St. Lucia 3-0 in their opener. Well, the local baseball community is still waiting on word about the Andre Rogers National Stadium. Sports Minister, the Honorable Lanisha Roll, recently gave this update.
The Ministry of Works is dealing with the structural part of things, the engineering, all of that. I can just speak positively that I look for the stadium to be completed, if at all possible.
Is there a timeline for that?
Well, I would not know. I leave that to the technical persons. But as for the National Sports Authority and for the Ministry and Division of Sports in particular, we just want it already that people can have access to the arena to be able to be engaged, and for us to invite international events and persons to come here to build our brand as a sporting facility for the world.
The Bahamas Baseball Association, currently in Grand Bahama, along with some of their international counterparts, putting on the first of a two-part umpiring clinic. The second half will take place right here in the capital later on in the week. And according to Chief Umpire for the BBA, Martin Pork-Burrows, there are more initiatives to come.
After this, then I'm going into the schools, because, I call all the games for SAC in the schools, and plenty of young players come up to me. They can't play, or fans come up to me, they can't play, but they're interested in officiating. So it's my job right now to make sure that we get this one off and running so we can try go in the schools and get more people involved.
You talk about going into the school system, but baseball is still not inside the private schools.
Well, that's something we got to try and work with. We get it in the government schools, we call it, but we have to. That's a tough one, Johnny. But the good thing about it is we have the JBLNs, we have the Freedom Farms, we have the Community Baseball League, we have the league in Abaco, we have the league in Eleuthera. So the young people are playing baseball. We can see the success that baseball is having. So I think baseball is well covered, well rounded. I would like for when the stadium to be open up that these young fellas get an opportunity to play in it.
Boxer Misha Major Payne was scheduled to put on his last pro fight early next month at the C.I. Gibson Gym. However, Major has suffered a slight injury, and that card has now been pushed back to October 27th, which is actually a day before Major's birthday. That's also the day before Major made his pro debut back in 2000. And despite the setback, Major still expects the card to come off without any further hiccups.
We have Rashid Williams making his pro debut. Then with Pogbo, Amateur Boxing Federation being a part, helping us to be able to put on some amateur on the card. So it's going to be an amateur segment first, then it's going to be the pro segment. So this is going to be the first time it ever happened this way. We will showcase the young talent that is here in the Bahamas so people could, understand that boxing is not fully dead. It's going to carry on after I retire, and hopefully they can see some young talent out there that they can really find a liking to and be able to follow throughout his career.
Week 1 in the NFL continuing yesterday. Bahamian descendant Philip Dorsett, 7 catches, 66 yards and a touchdown. The New England Patriots opened the season with a win 27-20 over the Houston Texans.
We got the looks that we wanted on the plays. Tom made a great balls, and we made plays.
If you're out there, I trust you, the coaches trust you, the team trusts you. That's why we're putting you out there. So guys that usually we don't trust don't get much opportunity out there, so Philip did a great job.
I knew for us to play well as an offense, we all have to play well. Me, Hoes, Gronk, James, all the running backs, obviously Tom, but we all feel like in order for us to reach our peak, we all have to play well.
Came up with the plays, came up with the catches. It's kind of what he's been doing all camp, all spring, and it's good to see it show up today.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.